relationship. And so I genuinely used to believe that something had to be wrong with me, because why am I the one single person among everyone? Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Melody and I make faith-based content here on YouTube. I post a new video every single Tuesday. So if that is something you're interested in, definitely be sure to subscribe. I would love to have you join the family. In today's video, we are going to be doing episode number 2 in our Godly Relationship series. I still haven't picked a name for the series. I think I'm gonna roll with 29 and waiting until marriage, because that's what the last video, episode 1, was titled, and I feel like it kind of gets everything across in a pretty concise way. So we're just gonna roll with that. And in episode 2 today, I'm going to be sharing with you guys 5 mistakes that I made in my single season. Now let me tell you, I had quite the single season, okay? I was single for a really long time. So I had lots of experience to learn things, but I also did stumble quite a bit as well. So in this video, I'm gonna be sharing some of the mistakes I made and the lessons I learned from those mistakes in an effort to keep you from making those same mistakes. So let's go ahead and get into this video. So mistake number 1 is comparison. I used to compare myself to everyone because I'm single, and everywhere I look on social media, in my family, in my friend group, in my brother's friend group, everyone's in a relationship. And so I genuinely used to believe that something had to be wrong with me, because why am I the one single person among everyone? Now this mindset was not fruitful. It did not produce fruit that allowed me to appreciate the season I was in. It did not produce fruit that allowed me to learn new truths about myself. The only thing that comparison brought me was misery. It brought me feeling like a victim. It brought me feeling like something's wrong with me. All of these things that don't come from God, you know? God will come with correction, not condemnation. So I had to let go of comparison, but it is hard, you know, being the one single person. And granted, you're not really the one single person, but for me, that's really how it felt. And I had to get past that and to really just stand firmly in my singleness and to not feel less than because I'm around people who are in a relationship. So that is number 1. So mistake number 2 I made was idolizing the idea of being in a relationship. And when I say idolizing, I literally mean it was an idol in my life. I used to think that when I found my person, my life would just become magically perfect, everything would be better, the struggles I dealt with internally I would no longer deal with, that it would just be my salvation in a sense. Like my life would need nothing else but this person and this relationship. And that couldn't be further from the truth. There are a lot of amazing things happening in my life right now. I'm recently engaged, we're getting married, we're buying a house, but none of this stuff brings true satisfaction. It's beautiful and I'm appreciative of all of these things, but the only thing I can find true satisfaction in, true rest in, true peace in, is in my relationship with God, in knowing who I am with Him and Him being the thing that fills me up. A relationship does not fill me up. Yes, it's a great addition to my life and I love my fiance. He's amazing. I can't wait to share my life with him, but he cannot be my God. He would be a terrible God. And that's why me idolizing relationships is something that I consider a mistake. Honestly, you don't want any idols before God, and being in a relationship was absolutely something that I put before God at certain points in my single season, just because I thought it would bring the joy, the peace, the happiness that I wasn't feeling in singleness. I thought being in a relationship would bring that. But now, where I am and the things that are happening in my life, I'm realizing the only thing that can bring all the fulfillment that I want to feel is God. My hope is found in Jesus Christ. That's it. That's it. That's really it. So that is going to be number 2. So number 3 on the list is something that I had to learn the hard way. But essentially, I learned not to play let's make a deal with myself and let's make a deal with God in terms of my conviction to wait until marriage to have sex. So God really convicted me to wait until marriage to have sex in like 2016. And I decided in one relationship in my single season, I dated someone for like 6 months. And I was single for a course of maybe like 4 to 5 years. So I was single for a really long time. But in the course of that time, I dated someone and I found myself, communicating to them that I want to wait until marriage, and them communicating to me that that's really not what they want to do, but they'll support me. Ultimately, I did what is the mistake here. I played let's make a deal with myself and God. I really, for months, racked my brain thinking like, how can I do both? How can I make this work? Where can I find the overlap? And we ended up not waiting until marriage. And I felt the repercussions of that so heavily. The mindset that I used to do that was just internally for myself. I convinced myself like, oh, like I'm gonna marry this person anyway. So, like we're gonna be married anyway. I am not marrying this person, and I am so grateful I'm not marrying this person. So that mindset just like didn't work at all. And also really thinking that like the rules that God has in terms of him convicting me to not have sex until marriage, that it was just for him, like this is just what God wants me to do for him. No, he was truly trying to protect me. And I felt all the shame and the regret and just all of the effects of really being outside of his will, being outside of the will of God and not saving sex for the context of marriage. I felt it, and it made me understand why he specifically convicts me to wait until marriage. And so that really is a lesson that I learned, and I'm grateful I went through it because it has made me so steadfast in knowing that in my next relationship, like from that point forward in my next relationship, not waiting until marriage was not an option. Like I was going to wait no matter what, because personally I knew what it was going to do to me, and I already experienced that, and I never wanted to go back to that place. So yeah, that is going to be number 3. And honestly, I think this is the most important one. Like if y'all learn anything from this, don't play let's make a deal with yourself and with God, okay? You're only gonna hurt yourself. Alrighty, so number 4 on our list is basically being impatient. And for me, impatience looked like when I didn't see any prospects on the horizon, I went backwards. And moving backwards was never a productive thing for me. I think, different strokes for different folks. The Lord may call you to look back and that person will be there and it can work out. But for me, I used to look backwards and move backwards back to old people because I was impatient, because I didn't have faith that something new and better could be waiting for me in the future. And so the bigger lesson there beyond just not looking back was having faith in God. I didn't have the amount of faith that I thought I had because I couldn't see it with my human eyes, and I didn't have faith in what he was doing. I was gonna take things into my own hands and do what I could do, and knowing, okay, there's a person like that, let me just try to check that out. But ultimately, learning in this season to have faith in God is only going to allow you to continue to have that faith once you do get into that relationship, because there are going to be things that you're going to have to trust God with once you do get to that point of being in a relationship as well. So yes, that is number 4. We made it to number 5, guys. The last mistake that I made in my singleness, which honestly, I'm sure I made more than 5 mistakes, but just for the sake of this video, we narrowed it down to 5. So the last mistake I made was wanting my single season to be over so bad that I often missed the beautiful moments of it. So now that I am in a relationship, and I've been in a relationship for like a year and a half now, I think. Yeah, about a year and a half now. I look back at moments that I had in my singleness and how I used to feel in those moments, and I didn't realize how much of a blessing and how much of like a work God was really doing in my life at that time. All I saw was I'm single and I don't want to be. And I remember, being really caught up in specific things in terms of my singleness. And when I look back, it's just like, wow, these were such beautiful, beautiful moments, beautiful, beautiful times in my life. And I didn't always see it in the moment because I was so focused on the one thing I didn't have. And so honestly, if you do find yourself in your single season, just appreciate it. Find the beauty in it and soak in every moment that it does bring, because there's going to be beautiful moments in it, and God is going to be working in that season just like he'll be working in the next season. So to not just want to rush through it so fast, because once you're married, you're gonna be in your married season for life, okay? So really appreciate the single time when you do have it. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. These are the 5 mistakes that I made in my single season. And of course, it is now your turn. So in the comments below, let us know what some of the mistakes that you made in your single season are, and what are the lessons that you learned from those mistakes. I feel like God is always working, even in the mistakes, so I'm really excited to read through your guys' comments. I love reading what you guys have to say, and just this community is amazing. I really appreciate you guys. So yes, I will see you in my next video. I post a new video every single Tuesday. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to. If you enjoyed this video and are looking forward to episode number 3, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next one.